All right, welcome to part 2 of PET 2025 grade 12. Now, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and that is KET Simplified with Serentry channel. And then you'll get some of these videos, practicals, theory, and everything related to KET and IT. All right, now let's take a look at the PET example, phase 1. Now, I'll start with the task definition example. Now, before you start, you refer to PET document on page 16, and then you brainstorm and put your ideas on a paper. Now, the first part of the task definition, even though it doesn't give you any mark, will be the introduction. You can write an introduction in a brief, let's say a paragraph, one paragraph before you start the task definition. Now, the ethical use of artificial intelligence. So I have this example as the introduction. That's the good, the bad, and then the ugly. This one looks at how AI is used in a fair and responsible way. It explores the good side, for instance, helping doctors diagnose diseases and making work easier. It also looks at the bad side, such as AI invading privacy, being unfair or biased, and taking away jobs. Then the ugly side refers to serious problems that happen when AI is misused, causing harm to society. Therefore, the goal of this research will be to find ways to use AI wisely while avoiding these risks. So this is a brief introduction about the topic, whereby you address the good side by giving an example of the good side. Also talking about the bad side, you can give 1 or 2 examples of the bad side. And finally, you talk about the ugly side. Then you put them together and summarize it. And this is the point. That is the goal of the research, or the reason why the research will be done, will be to find ways to use AI wisely while avoiding these risks that have been listed over there. Now, from there, then you go to the current situation as the heading. So I put 2 current situations here. Currently, what is happening with regards to AI in these sectors? And that's what the current situation is all about. So I have one example. First one, AI is being widely used across different sectors, offering many benefits. Then you give example of the benefits or the good side. For instance, personalized learning, improved healthcare, financial security, efficient travel planning, smarter coding, and then other things. So you can list some of the examples of the AI, the good side. Then, however, it also used AI, or the AI raised some ethical concerns. Then you list some of the ethical concerns. That's the privacy, the unfairness, the transparency, the bias, and accountability. So as you talk about the good side, you also talk about the unfairness or the bad side of AI. Then you finish it by saying, these issues can lead to serious problems such as unfair decision-making, discrimination, security risk, and lack of user trust. Please, whatever information that you get, if this information is not from you, some of them are not from you. But if you wrote this in your own way, you must not cite it, or you must not cite it, acknowledge the source. But the moment you take the information from other source, then you have to put the citation there. So in this situation, you can write them in your own way by mentioning some of the good side of AI, and then also the bad side, and then talking about the ugly side also, and how you can combine these 3 together. So you write them in just 1 paragraph. Now, the second part here, also, the AI is increasingly used in areas like education, healthcare, finance, travel, technology, and daily life, offering benefits such as, then you talk about the benefits of AI, and then you talk about the bad side. So you can take a look at these 2, and then you create your own current situation. Don't forget to talk about the good side, then the bad side, and then the ugly side as well, regarding the current situation. Now, why this investigation? That will be the next heading under the task definition, the next subheading. So I have these two here. This investigation aims to find ways to use AI more ethically in these sectors. So you have to mention your chosen sector. For instance, the aim of this research will be to find how AI can be used ethically in education and training sector. That could be an example. The goal is to maximize the advantage of AI while minimizing or reducing their risk. By ensuring AI systems are transparent, fair, secure, and unbiased, we can build trust and use AI responsibly. So here we are talking about the reason why you are doing the investigation. So you talk about to investigate the good side or the ethically good way, and then you talk about the bad side and the unfair way also. Then after that, you move straight to the purpose of the investigation, the focus and the purpose of the investigation. Now, also, you don't forget to mention with your sector. So this investigation will explore how AI is used in education and training and how it can be used ethically to bring benefit while avoiding harm. Now, what will be investigated? So you list them, you can just create a list, the good and bad effect of AI in, so here you can say in education and training, how AI, or what happens when AI is used unethically in the sector. You can write the sector also. Challenges and problems with AI in the chosen sector. How to fix or how to solve these problems in the chosen sector. How to make AI used ethically in the sector, and how AI affects people globally and locally, and ways to address an ethical use of AI in your chosen sector. So this would be the focus and then the purpose of the investigation. So this is an example of it. Right. Now, the next one will be the parameters of PET. How will you complete this considering the parameters of PET? Like I said in the previous video, you mentioned in each phase what to be done. For instance, phase 1, you study the PET guidelines to ensure all necessary aspects are covered, identifying the key areas such as the ethical use of AI, the challenges and solutions in the sector. You have to mention the sector, please. Making use of online search engines to find information about the chosen topic. So you talk about it. Now, after this, then how will you collect data? In phase 2, you create questionnaire using Microsoft Word. Remember, the questionnaire will be used or will be created using Microsoft Word developer controls. And then after that, if you want to reach wider audience, you can make use of Google Forms or Microsoft Forms, and then you distribute to at least 30 respondents. So you must mention all of them. And how are you going to analyze the data? In spreadsheet, doing calculations or using functions, and you summarize your key findings into tables, or you can also use the pivot tables, graphs, or chart. Then also, after that, you now summarize your phase 2, and then you create a report. So all this will be listed under how the PET will be conducted by considering the parameters of this PET. Then the target audience. The target audience, like I said, it should be realistic target audience. So these are examples of the target audience. One, when you talk about the professionals in chosen field. In education, you can talk about teachers, school administrators, and policy makers. Then in health sector, you can talk about the doctors, the nurses, and hospital managers. Finance, you can talk about bankers, financial analysts, and business owners. Technology, you can talk about programmers, developers. So you have to be specific. Then the government and then the policy makers. For instance, The officials responsible for AI laws, you can talk about them, students and research, students studying AI and ethics. So you have to be realistic. So these are some of the examples of the target audience. Now, after that, you move straight to your focus question. Focus question should be a simple question, a single question, and then it should be something that is related to your topic. So these are some of the examples of the focus question. 1, how can AI help students learn better while keeping their personal data safe? So here, you are talking about the good side of it, how AI can help students learn, and then while or at the same time, keeping their data safe. So this is a simple question. Then when you talk about the medicine and healthcare sector, how can AI be used for diagnosing and treating patients without risking their privacy? And in the banking and finance sector, how can AI make fair and safe financial decisions for people and businesses? Then how can AI improve travel and tourism services while keeping customer data private and fair? Or how can AI be used in coding while ensuring accuracy and fairness? And then lastly, how can AI suggest content and product in a fair and honest way? So some of these focus questions, just one question. Remember, focus question is different from focus of the investigation. And these are some of the examples. You can create your own by looking at some of these examples, please. Right. After the focus question, then you go to the table of questions. So with the table of questions, I normally prefer this type of table, very simple one. First of all, you have, you create 5 columns. The first column having the number, the question level, the category, and then the type of source. And then you have to create 10 questions. And these are some of the examples. I've provided you 15 questions that can guide you to also create your own questions. 1, what are the benefits of using AI in the chosen sector? So here you will say, what are the benefits of using AI in education and training? What are the benefits of using AI in banking and finance? And then the level, because we are using what? The level, when you provide facts like who, when, where, what, how many, it is level 1. So here is level 1. And then the category, because we are talking about the benefit, it will be part of the positive impact of AI. And then what are the risks of AI in banking and finance? And that one, because it's what? It will be negative impact of AI because of the risk. Risk will be the negative. Then where will you get it from? You can get it from maybe articles or website. So you just write one source there. Don't write all the sources to be website. Some of the sources can be from interview. How does AI affect jobs in this sector? So that's positive impact or the impact. How does AI handle data privacy in this sector, which is ethical consent? So the levels, you must always refer to this level question. So when you use why, how, it's level 2. And when you use what if or if, then it's level 3. And if you want the recommendation and others will be level 4. At least you must cover the 4 levels. Now, because you create the evaluation table, it is best for you to, or it's advisable to get a question or where you can get a source from interview. So you can create a simple interview, let's say 2 or 3 question interview, and then you interview somebody who is an expert in that sector. So those questions you will choose interview. For instance, I have one question here. What role does AI play in decision making, let's say in education sector? So here, this question, you can create an interview, and then you meet somebody who has knowledge in AI in that sector, then you make an interview. You can record that interview, or you can type the responses as the interview responses. Then that one will be the other source, the third source. When you are done with your 10 questions, you move straight to this source table. And this one, you can create this simple table, or you can make use of that table. So when you use this table, it will be the source, the author, the name of website, the date created, the date accessed, URL, and then the summary of the information. So here the source one, let's Harvard University. Then this is the name of the website, October 2020, date accessed, it was 5th of February 2025. URL, you can copy the URL here, or because if you want the table to be smaller, you can choose hyperlink. And then you put the URL here inside the address. So you can make use of the hyperlink. Don't forget to put the author name here, text to display so that it becomes easier. And you summarize the information by saying this information discusses ethical concerns related to AI like. So you summarize, you talk about some of the ethical concerns that they talk about. You don't have to just copy and paste. This is the summary. You must just put the key points here. So one source, or at least two sources, can be website. And then the third source, if it's about interview, you talk about the person that you interview, the topic of the interview, the date that you created the interview, and you summarize the responses, or you can also put the video link there, right? So when you have, this one must be 3 sources, but then it is advisable if you can do for all of them, but you don't need to fill this part, only that part, that's the summary for the 10 questions. And then, like I said, you can use also this type of table. Then when you are done, you go to the evaluation of the source table. Now, the first question, the first source, the criteria, authority. Here, you talk about Harvard University is a well-known academic institution, which adds credibility to the article. So you don't just say Harvard University is credible. No, you must explain like it's a well-known academic institution, or you can say the author is a well-known publisher in AI. So you have to explain. Then the currency. The article was published in October 2020, which is relatively recent time, although AI is rapidly changing the information about AI. But 2020 is current because it is within the 10-year period. You have to again explain. Then when you talk about the accuracy, the article accurately reflects the current ethical concerns of AI. Or you can say this article gives factual information about the current ethical information of AI. Right, objectivity. The article does not show any bias or unfairness and present a well-balanced information about both the benefit and the risk of AI. So if the article is talking about only one-sided, then you say maybe it doesn't have a balanced information about the topic. And then the coverage, it provides a broad overview of the ethical concerns surrounding AI across multiple sectors. So it means it covers different sectors, that's the health sector, the finance, and then the education. So here you talk about the information, or that article talks about different sectors of AI, not just only education and training sector. So that is what we talk about the coverage. So you have to do this for at least 3 sources, 2 websites, and then the third one could be the other source. You don't have to do more, at least the 3 source, but it shouldn't be only for one particular type of source. Now, when you are done with all this, then the last part will be the screenshot, and then you can submit your phase 1. All right. Thank you for your time. This document will be there. The link for this document will be under the video. You can get access to this document, and then you make use of it so that it can guide you. Thank you for your time.